money. Now, I can't do it for that one. I took another one today, rejected. Another one rejected. Eventually, it has come virtually around the whole world and was finally accepted. When you see the citation of that paper now, it's over 500, it's 60 million. Now, look at the ordeal. I will suffer several rejections, but in the midst of that rejection, I am learning one from the other. I learned one that some are constructive, I learned from them. Those who are destructive, like the comment I gave, I ignored it. I wanted to reply happily, but I thought, no answer for this. How do you hate a human being? You got a human being. Thousands of miles away from the scientific community. What is the meaning of that? What have I done? Maybe somebody has rejected the manuscript, and what about annoyance? Not venting anger against it. So there are things you need to accommodate. Your level of temperament will be tested, and at the same time, your resilience matters a lot. Instead of write what you feel is what you do. Give it to someone who can criticize what you are doing. In the process, you will learn. When they make comment on your writing, don't be annoyed. Don't say their wala is too much. In the process of addressing those comments, you are learning gradually. And before you know it, over the years, you have learned ways in which you should not do it, and you have learned ways in which you should. And gradually, you'll be getting there. So it's just a matter of time, but you have to show interest. Don't be discouraged. A lot is discouraged. Rejection is discouraged. Photos of Jonah, and then they keep your article number now, in evening they reject immediately. And now they reject. But those who have rejected my paper years back, and I will come back. It's a function of resilience, being dogged, not being discouraged, and being determined to succeed against all. You will get there someday. Thank you.
Thank you. I learned something from the submissions of forces here, and they have one, ensure that you publish in journals or you submit your manuscript to journals whose focus are suitable to your research work. That's one, very important. And two, when it is rejected by one, ask questions that will help you to what? To revise the work and submit to another journal. From my personal experience, there was a time I sent an article to political discourse in US. The work was on political interaction in certain novels of Chimamanda Adichie. And instead of saying, I hate this manuscript, the editor just said this manuscript has no contribution to studies in political discourse. And I wrote back to tell them that no, I need to know why. It wouldn't have contribution to, and Ben said, we publish live political matters, not political matters in literary studies. Now I understood what they didn't want. So I sent it to places that wanted political matters in literary studies, and they accepted it. So that the work was rejected does not mean that it's bad, but it doesn't mean you do not have a good mentor. Probably means that you don't want to get one man's food, another man's fault. Thank you. Another question? If we do not have more questions, I thank you, sir. Please, Mike, you can use ours in the meantime.
I really appreciate the presentations of our academic gurus, professors Bello and team. I really enjoyed the presentation so much. Let me pinpoint exactly where I'm going. Professor Latin was able to identify problems facing us about the mass developments around that time. Having identified these problems, I would like you to please explain how some of these problems can be solved. Because I discovered that a good number of these problems have some political intonations. Some, as far as I'm concerned, they are supportive academically. unless politicians are involved. External politics have direct negative impacts on academia, especially Lautech. A good number of us, we have struggled for the past 35 years to elevate the status of Lautech. You, being one of the principal ones who contributed to the growth and development of this university. That is one of the reasons why I raised that issue. The second question is, all the suggestions made by Professor Bello, they are very presentable and achievable. For the newly intake lecturers, I want to comment on the issue of seniority. A good number of them, they are greyhounds, but some of them who have taught in one tertiary institution or the other, like college of education or polytechnic, by the time they get to Lautech, they do not realize the fact that every university has its uniqueness and peculiarities. Lautech is one that emphasizes academic tradition in the last 35 years. When some of us who are older, we are trying to introduce them to the tradition, they misinterpret that, who is this man? Are you a professor? Once you are not a professor, you are not knowledgeable. Then by the time they commit atrocities, they will still come back to us. I want Professor Bello to emphasize how academic tradition, especially in Lautech, can be achieved on daily basis. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Actually, some of the solutions when a person is rejected, although mostly I focus on personal and institutional, because I didn't want to go out of the work individual. But then you also say that from the point of personal intervention, personal disposition, what you are supposed to do, and what you have to do collectively as an institution, we can influence the public. We can influence the politicians. Now, guys also many of them, they don't even know what university is. I'm telling you. I've had the benefit of sitting on government council. I discovered that I don't even know what university is. I will start to build up government council. Where you have identified that, it becomes our responsibility to articulate what the university is. You know, one of the things that the visitor may want to do, the visitor will always have this or agree. But there are ways to do it in such a way that it will not be injurious to the system. And there's nothing about it following the way down rules and regulations. You tell somebody that, sir, this is what you want to do, this is what the rule says. But however, you can do it this way, this way, this way. And I can give you examples. So, our own personal, because another thing is that, how do they get information about us? It is we. It is we that we go and tell them that, I'll take it from me, money. Wherever is it, I don't know, I can see you, boss you. Because it's not Latin money. Go see them able to go say, okay, won't be there. Not knowing that the university is owing members of the staff salaries and component of the salaries, excess work. That's 2012 till date. And also, I would like to mention something. Money that doesn't belong to the university, like dead fund money. As somebody will say, 500 million processes at the time. The money that the license doesn't have to pay, it's just going to watch that have been attached to something. So that depends on us. Whereas he does not know that his future is not even guaranteed in that system. Because what is the pension scheme that you have? Therefore, this kind of thing. We are not saying that we are operating secret society. I said something in my slide. It's also in my paper. Don't be a spokesperson of the university beyond your capability. There are things that the deputy vice chancellor cannot go and say outside, except the vice chancellor authorizes it. Because they will look at it. Is this information for that audience? If not, so there are so much in this area. I'm telling you, official matters taken to places. And when you come back, you go spend 4 billion. So we need to educate them. We also need our own assistance too. This is just people who are not hosts. Brothers and sisters. Let us look at this is what our forefathers have given to us. Where do we need to take it to? Everything is not about politics. We thank God that it's reducing now. Let you and I not be the person that we instigate it to be. Because it's going to consume, it's not going to be to the benefit. The former doctors have done. How many of us have rented houses? How many of us have done that person and start saying, well, I'll take it. And you know politicians, we are not the same. We are but we, our lives are like business. Don't remember the answer to spend here. Till you die, you have to be getting something from here and after you die. So you have to say like that. Then
thank you, Chief, for that very important question about academic tradition. One of the ways to ensure that we maintain this tradition is by organizing workshops periodically, and I mark that periodically. Now, in the last few years, workshops like this, they are not common. But now, both even the old and the young are learning. So if we have this periodically, what we have forgotten, remind ourselves. What we know better, and we'll be able to act in a better way. That is one. The second way to maintain this tradition is for those who are senior colleagues to be a good mentor. And I mark the good mentor, not just mentor, good, distinguished mentor. And for those who are mentees, they must be teachable and available mentee. It's a dual way. If you have a good mentor and the mentee is not available, there is no way to entrench the tradition. But if you have a good mentor and have a teachable and available mentee, honestly, the tradition will continue. And the battle that you are handing over will be handed over to the next generation. But if the two are not in line, definitely there will be a malfunction somewhere and there will be a gap. So as we encourage people who are older to be good mentors, we encourage those who are coming to be available and teachable mentees. Not that somebody advised you and said, I get the person, where are you coming from? That's a vulgar way of addressing you. If you are advised, get to the advice. The worst is you leave the advice. But when you are advised, look at the advice objectively. Don't just turn everything to love. Look at it objectively and embrace the idea. And lastly, we need to set goals and standards. If there are standards and goals for addressing issues, all of us know that we are working towards a particular goal. And with that, we need to get there. Thank God also that it was here. We had series of meetings that have to do with ranking, what university ranking, ranking, TH, several meetings. And one of the things he said, I can remember that he said, this thing I will not be a talk show. Because the person talk, all of us will open up, we felt that we can go to the university, going by where we are coming from, where we are going our experiences. But alas, it was a talk show. We just talk, we brought up all the recommendations, but nothing has been done. And thank God we have a list. So all our recommendations, I want you to be we have potential here. The schools that are getting number 1, number 2, we were there to develop them. Now we are doing this idea. We have to develop our system. It gives me a lot of money. We go to some schools, we develop them. Why can't we develop our own school? We make recommendations, not work for purpose. Some are beyond the management. It goes to the council. And I think we can start from here. The management will be willing to embrace that. The council will be willing to embrace it. And even the visitor. And before we go into be what we are supposed to do. Intellectuals are allowed, honestly. Go to various schools. When you mention Louder, you know that Louder is going for excellence. Our motto is excellence, integrity, and science. If you excel in other places, why can't you excel? So together we'll be able to do that. All of us here cannot do it again. The management will be involved, the council will be involved, and even the visitor will be involved. And I know when these things are done, we're able to do a long way. Now, let me be personal. I was in London for 2 years on accountability. When I was in the VC called me, I'm going to make you the Sabbath stay. Don't you stay here and not go back and me stay Gravity Best. When I put over 2 decades in Lautech, I don't want to stay there. Because they want me there, they are still giving me job to do. And I said, I'm not just. Now, what I'm saying is, they felt the impact of what I've done here. And it's literally the new VC happens to be a member of the department before he left for government investment. Each time he calls me, when will you come? I don't have time. Now, they are calling me to come and develop their school. For here in my school, I want to develop the school, the facility, the environment is not there. So it's beyond all of us here. The management has a role to play, the council has a role to play, the visitor has a role to play. If you play well our part, honestly, Lautech will be number 1. And by the grace of God, we'll get there.
Thank you. On this note, we request that other questions be sent to the platform. While I invite the Vice Chancellor to kindly give the closing remark. Thank you.
Well, once again, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We have had enough. I don't want to bog us with comments again. I just want to congratulate my dear union for this step. I want to congratulate the participants. I want to wish us well. Those things that look like recommendations are already noted for onwards transmission to the Vice Chancellor of the University. Because we know all hands have to be on deck. I thank you for coming to God bless you.
To give the votes of time to everyone who came early and has stayed until this morning. Thank you.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the academic staff here at the Lautech branch, we'd like to express our profound gratitude to the Vice Chancellor, who will be represented by Professor A.T.J. Okule. We also deeply appreciate all the other management team for their time, for their support for the union. Equally, we would like to appreciate all the resource persons for their insightful presentations. We also like to thank all the past chairpersons present. We equally would like to appreciate all the participants for your time, for your contributions, and we pray that the knowledge we have shared today will go a long way towards helping each and every one of us in our academic journey. Once again, I say thank you very much. God bless us and safe journey back to our destinations.